Pierre.
Oh, mine out there.
Your screen went. It's okay. It's okay. When bandwidth's bad, it's often smart to turn off the video. We might all get to that point, which is unfortunate because the video is kind of nice, just to make us feel like we're all in the same room. But it's like some kind of. Oh, there we go. Phew! I was gonna say we're like going down some rabbit holes, a hall of mirrors. There, I saw myself in his shared desktop. That's not right. It's very, very quiet all of a sudden. So let's see, whoever can hear me. So it's nice to introduce the ES6 class syntax because that's the syntax that React currently uses.
Okay.
When React came out, it was not actually using that syntax. They had a slightly different API. And then they decided that they were going to get on the ES6 bandwagon. And so they adopted that class syntax. So you see it all over the place in React. It's a core piece of React now. So it's nice to just start getting familiar with it.
Gotcha.
The cool thing about it, the cool thing about the new ES6 syntax, and there's a few little enhancements that I don't know if they're part of ES6 or they might be coming in ES7, but they're now so commonly used that they might as well just be part of ES6. That class syntax has really gotten fleshed out so that there's now like state variables in the classes. There's static variables. There's static methods. So many of the constructs that you would find in an object-oriented language like Java have now been sort of ported over to JavaScript. So that syntax has become very rich.
I heard a little bit about that the other day.
Oh, what'd you hear?
Oh, it was one of my coworkers who was like, they were just saying, JavaScript is adopting stuff from C#. They're trying to be more like the object-oriented language.
Well, I mean, it's true and not true. Like, JavaScript has always had prototypical inheritance, and you can do some amazing stuff with that. And honestly, like, I mean, my hope would be for you guys to really learn to love JavaScript, learn to love the way that it does things. It's really evolved. So I think that a lot of the cruft in the language is going away, and the language has become a lot more beautiful. And as the next Java programmer, I mean, I strongly prefer coding in JavaScript. I find it just a much lighter weight environment. I enjoy being in that environment much, much more. I find it way easier to kind of get my thing across, rather than in Java. I always felt like I was mired in a lot of syntax. So maybe you'll come to the same conclusion. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I like it. I guess I'm kind of neutral when it comes to. I mean, I'm definitely more comfortable with C#.
Sure. It's your day job.
I don't have like a really hate or dislike for any languages that I've used. I've only used like 3. So.
Hey, Sean, are you there?
Can you hear me now? There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Better.
So there we go. All right. And can you see my screen share?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Single computer for the win. So I've created this view menu directory inside my exercises, and I've CD'd in there. I'll tell you one thing. I love JavaScript for the environment. I equally like Python. It's jokingly my get stuff done language. But I gotta admit, as much as people despise C for having to do the memory allocation by hand and the syntax and all the cores and all that, I think it's a really elegant language, because if you're going to program fast stuff, if you know the algorithms, C will respond to your command beautifully. Like, that's the thing that I love about C, is that with pointers and basic programming constructs, it might be 5,000 lines of code, but it will be the fastest 5,000 lines of code you've ever seen. You know, it took me, I think we did a assignment for data structures, and it was a linked list assignment. And we had to go through a million plus nodes of a linked list. So people wrote the same program in Python, and they got it done in about maybe 90 lines. And it took them about 2 minutes to finish the million nodes. I wrote it in C. It was about maybe 400, 500 lines of C. And it took me 2.4 seconds. Without any parallelism, no sugar, no magic. Just pure C. And that's why I love that language. So, say what you will. But I did actually all my algorithms assignments in C just because I wanted to tell our algorithms teacher, I wanted to show off a little bit and just be like, neener, neener. He's a C guy, so. All right, so what we're going to touch here, what we're going to do here is we're going to run touch, and we're going to create index.html. And we are also going to create the file, which is app.js. And we're going to create styles.css. All right. And you might have to.
It makes me crazy, Sean. I hear you pounding at the keys, but then I don't see anything on the screen.
Oh, you don't? What? Do you see my editor now? Nope. Let's see if I can.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there.
Whoa. I just lost your desktop.
There we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
There we go. So what the command I ran was just touch, and remember, with touch, you can always create multiple files in one shot. So don't run touch index.html, touch app.js. Just do it in one command if you have 3 or so files like that. Then I just ran atom.dot to open up the working directory. Good Lord. Yeah, I might end up paying for the 100 megs a second download speed internet. Of course, you know, you're paying for 100 megs download and they only give you, what, 60? Something like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up our index.html, and let's just get started with the basics. So I'm going to do my HTML-OI and hit tab, and we're just going to start with that basic, very basic kind of template. And then give me a second here. I'm actually going to go ahead and open up our Slack. And if you take a look at our Slack, we're going to need that Vue CDN link that we've been using for the past couple of weeks. So that should be somewhere back there. But if it's not, let me go ahead and why is it going there? Anyways, God, again. Good Lord. Technology would play nice today. That'd be great. Good Lord. Come on. It's not doing it. Okay. Let me see here. I think I have it. I have Slack up over here. So go back up here. Let's go to Vue CDN link, and I might just type it in manually. So here. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, just as it was about to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type the script tag. Type is indeed text JavaScript, except where you don't really need to have that down to here. Then I'm going to put my source, src, equals HTTP, good Lord, HTTPS umpkg.com/. That isn't awful, actually. There we go. And then, of course, I'm going to bring in another script tag below that. And I'm going to set the src as /app.js, just like that. And once we get that good to go, let's just add a basic H1 with a hello world. I know this seems childish, but let's get that good to go. And then we will use BrowserSync to start ourselves up a little server, and we'll get working on some pretty fun stuff. There we go. So, perfect. All right, everybody got that good to go? Got the view good to go? Got your H1 good to go? Thumbs up? All right, nice. Yep. There we go. So again, we're going to do browser -sync. And give me a second here. I'll look at that command real quick. Sync. And then we're going to do start --server --files. And we're going to do quotes, just like that. We're going to do as follows: star.html, star.css, star.js. Just like that. And systems launch. Let's give it a second here. It's going to think about it. There we go. Let me bring that back up there, just so you can see that command that I wrote. There we go. Because if you, like most command line tools, if you mess up the command line, it will give you a bunch of gobbledygook that's not very informative, not very helpful. So there we go. Looking good?
Sean, do we need to run sudo mongod in another right now?
Not right now, not for this project, but once we come back from break, I'll absolutely have you run that. So we're not going to have an actual database on this one. This is just going to be pure user interface fun. I mean, I'm serious. Let's just, I mean, we've been working so hard on the back end, I figured let's break it up with a little bit of some refresher on Vue and just have some fun. So, yeah, come on.
Cool. Alrighty.
And then let's open up Inspect here. And we're just going to check for any errors. Looks like Vue's hooked up. If you see here, it tells me, hey, we have these dev tools. And actually, the Vue dev tools are pretty good. They are pretty awesome. So, yeah, well, we got all that good to go. Got our hello world. All right, how are we feeling? Pretty good? Got that all good to go, everyone?
Yep.
Pierre, feeling good?
Yep. That's good.
All right. Sweet. So this is probably going to be not terribly intense on the coding side, but it's going to be super fun on the probably the CSS and the all of that fun. So, all right. Let's go ahead and go back to our code, and let's get rid of that H1. And then what we're going to do here this time actually is instead of doing a div with an ID of app, we're just going to create a form. Whoa, and as always, I forgot you have to create the form tags yourself, because autocomplete just gives you a little bit too much there. So just like that. Of course, I'm going to give it an ID of main. I'm going to switch it a little bit. Then I'm going to create a UL. And I'm going to have just a single LI in there. LI. And then we'll create a span tag. Then down below that UL, we'll create a div. Let's have a class of total. Then up above the form real quick, let's put down a nice little H1 here. Or actually, not up above the form, I'm sorry. Up above the UI. So put a couple lines here, still inside your form because we want this to be affected by view. And let's just add services. There we go. It's pretty basic HTML, just like this. Let's go ahead and let's get that up there for a second. All right, feeling pretty good? Ready?
Yep.
Let's check our browser. There we go. The infamous dot of an unordered list and services is showing just like that. So nothing terribly exciting, but that's why I really like this app is because it's actually mostly going to be dependent upon Vue and a lot of pretty clever CSS. So, all right. We're actually even going to come up with a custom Vue directive. It's going to be pretty fun. So, all right, let's get started, shall we? Open up your app.js. And then what we're going to do here is going to say const demo equals new Vue. L equals hashtag name. And data-wise, just going to have our services, which we're just going to set to an empty array for the moment. Just like that. There we go. All right. So here's what we're going to do here. What we're creating with this application is basically one of those cool little checkout order forms where you can combine services and stuff like that. And we're going to make it kind of like a web dev shop. So this is actually going to have some practical use. You might want to include something like this on your own web page someday if you want someone to buy services from you, right? Doing consultancy work. So what I'm going to do here is blow up my services. I'm going to open up that array just like this. And let's start with, let's make an array of objects, and let's start with the first one. And I'm going to give it a name. Let's just call this Spoke Development. So we're custom building a website, kind of like a bespoke suit. Price J. What's your going rate for bespoke development per hour? Or just like overall for a project, what's a good bespoke rate? What's a good rate around Montana for bespoke development for a project nowadays? Let's put some real world.
A good what, Sean?
A good. What's a good rate for like bespoke development nowadays in Montana? Let's put some real, rubber to the road here. Put some practical data in here. You think about $1,000, $2,000. Go 2,000, something like that. And then active, we're going to have just one of these guys kind of be the default active one, true. And then put a comma there. And remember, with VueJS, you want to be super careful with those commas. It's basically like a gigantic constructor function, which is what, see, now that you know those constructor functions, you know what Vue is doing here with this constructor syntax, right? So we're supplying it with all these defaults to go through for the Vue constructor to go through and create this application that it then binds to our HTML. So that makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it? Whereas before you're just like, new Vue, what am I doing here? You know, I know I'm creating something new, but how does it work? Why do I have to pass in an object? The arguments for the constructor function. Then let's do UX design for our next one. Price is going to be $1,000. Let's add, oh, and I have a typo here. Let's fix that. Active to false. I'm going to put a comma down. Then we're going to do name and call this systems.
Who started vacuuming? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
I'm afraid that's not right. Really, the only thing you used to hear at my old apartment was about a train, probably 1 hour. Make this about 750. Quick change here. We're going to make all these guys numbers. So let's get rid of those quotes real quick. And make it numbers. And active false. Name will be there we go. We're just going to start with those 4 pieces of data. Just keep it simple, but give us enough to actually play. We can kind of have something practical to use. So, all right. And check there. Make sure you don't have any syntax errors, and let me know if you do. Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yep. Pierre?
Yep. It's good.
Good. All right. So the notes here, I'm outside my data.
Yep. Good so far.
Good so far? All right, that's good. So outside my data, I put a comma, and then I'm going to bring it down a line. And let's go ahead and let's create some basic methods that I think we're going to need for this app. So you notice here that in each of my data, I've had active. Well, that's basically what I do is it's going to help us choose which of our elements we have selected. And so we're just going to create a simple little function that manipulates the state of active here in our Vue app. We're going to call this toggle active. And we're going to use, I'm sorry, Dave, we're going to use some older ES5 syntax because Vue does not like newer ES6 syntax. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to call this just S as an argument. And actually, I'm going to change the name of that argument. Let's call it item. Item active equals dot item dot active. Just like that. That allows you to toggle. Because remember, this is the Ryan. What is this? It's a logical operator. Which one?
Sorry, say that again, Sean. Kind of cut out.
Sorry there. Which logical operator is this?
The not.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Or like, yeah.
No, you nailed it right off the bat. So what is this line doing then? If I write this, go ahead and describe me what I'm doing here. What is this toggle active function trying to accomplish with this statement?
So I guess we're looking for the active, or for within services, if it's not active. That's what I believe that's what we're looking for.
Right. And so if it is active, it makes it not active. If it's not active, it makes it active. It's flipping the state of an item, whether it's active or not, basically. This is a little shortcut that I've heard a lot of people call just kind of a logical flipping a Boolean. So when it's true, it's false. When it's false, it's true. And that's a super handy trick to use for a lot of user interface elements or other things like that, little logical controls where you want something to occupy kind of a binary state, true or false, based upon whether or not it's been selected or something like that. So flipping a Boolean is a super handy little trick to know. And creating a simple little function like this, I mean, it takes no time at all, right? So then when you create this and you bind it to something like a button, or kind of like that click input we had last time that's flipped between doing less than or greater than for filtering the baseball players, that's a really good way to do it. And then let's go ahead and let's create our total function. Total function. And let's go ahead and use as much ES6 as we can. So what I'm going to do here is we do need to declare this as a let because we need to actually increment total. Can use it as a const. But then we're going to do this, services, for each. We're going to do service. This dot, we're going to do service dot is dot active. So we're going to check if it's active. If it is, I want to increment my total.
Ryan. No, I'm sorry. No, Ryan, Sean. Sorry, I just got to check something real quick. Work.
What are you checking out there?
Oh, they're messaging me from work, so I'm just checking the message.
Oh, no worries. Okay. We can hang on for a second. I'm just going to finish up that one. Jay, I'm going to rely on your programming experience here. In Python, when we want something to pass, when we're looping over it, we have a pass declaration. What is the JavaScript equivalent of pass? I've been looking for that for a while.
You mean like a continue? Like you just go to the next loop?
Yeah, continue. Continue.
Like you?
Like that.
Well. Okay. So no. So in the case of a for each, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna loop over everything. All you can do is just do whatever logic tests you need to do, and then just don't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You don't have to do anything.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was good syntax, good clean syntax. So
well, I would probably write that as an if, just because I think it would be more self-documenting.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was just yeah, exactly.
We can absolutely do that. So here's what we're going to do instead. So I'm going to change that to our function with some curlies, and if service dot active total plus equals service dot price. There we go. And down here, let's return that total. There we go. All right, let me know when you guys are caught up there, and we'll give it a try.
Good.
Good, perfect.
Good.
Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at our app and just make sure that there are no errors for now. All right, so. And actually, real quick, I think that we actually can use
I do got something.
Oh, you got something? What'd you get?
I just got a syntax error. Doesn't like that bracket I put next to the if statement.
If statement?
What?
Make sure you.
Can I see yours real quick?
There you go. So go ahead and take a look there.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. And real quick here, you'll notice I removed the colon and the keyword function. I'm just going to go ahead and I think that these sorts of ES6 functions should work, where we just do function name, parents, and curlies. So let's give it a shot. I'm looking here, and I'm not getting any errors, so that's a good sign. I think what it comes down to is Vue doesn't like to have error functions because we're technically putting in object parameters. So all right, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at kind of bringing this into the real world here with adding it to our HTML. What do you say? So let's flip HTML. If you would, as always, stay out of the way. And then going back here and services, we have a UL and our LI. And where we're going to start here is up in the form. I'm just going to real quick add a Vue directive called v-, just like that. Then in my LI, going to add our favorite v4 equals service in services. And then next to that, I'm going to add v-on click equals close toggle. It cannot resist jumping around here today. Active service. And I'm going to do v-bind class equals active and service active. So here we are being very explicit about binding the class to the state of service.active. This is a slightly new Vue directive than we've encountered before. But all it's doing is kind of like when we added the colon on the image SRC. It's just binding this HTML attribute very explicitly to the value of this part of a given item of our data that we're looking over. So does that make sense there?
Sean, what's the vcloak for?
vcloak is just a slight directive that basically hides the app until it's fully loaded so you don't get that weird flicker in effect.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of sugar to make things look a little bit more professional and nice. All right. So outside of our span, we'll just add a little left space, my classic mustache double curlies, and do service.name Inside the span, I'm going to do service.price, and something that we haven't declared yet, which is the currency. And then inside the div total, take a wild guess what's going to go here. It's going to be our total. So total, colon, span. And I'm going to add span here, just like that. I'm going to add a couple mustache curlies. We're going to indirectly call the result of our total function here, the total function. And we're going to put it through the currency. All right. Let them know that's good to go. And don't quite take a look at your web page yet. There's going to be an error, and I'll explain why. So what we're doing here, just to break it down again, is we have our little app here. We're just calling v4. So we're looping through every one of our services so that they're presented on the page. This binds our toggle active to the click event, right? So when a user clicks it, it's going to change whether or not that service is active, because every service has an active attribute. And then what we're doing here is we're binding the class attribute to the state of our active for each given service, such that if active is true, this li here will have a class of active. And you can use that to change the styling of something. And down here, we're just basically displaying data. And we're about to use a custom view directive here that we're about to define called currency. But we'll get to that in a second. And then down here, all I'm doing is I'm just calling my total function from my methods just to display the result it returns, just like I would within regular JavaScript. So go ahead and catch on up there, and let me know if you think you've got it. If you have any questions, stop me, ask. Ryan, you doing okay?
Yeah, all caught up.
All caught up? Yeah. Is anything confusing you, or are you doing all right? Is the heat and smoke getting to you?
What's that?
Is the heat and the smoke getting to you? Because it's hot in this office.
Yeah, it's pretty hot in here too. It's
Oh man. No, I did
getting
something you
smokier
did.
today too.
God.
You guys are melting.
Mm,
Yeah. No melting. Come on. The only thing we melt here is code.
Pierre, what's it like in Tennessee? Is it hot there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's pretty hot. I'm doing pretty well now because a couple weeks ago my air conditioner broke.
Uh-oh.
It was bad then, but now I'm all right.
You know, I'd say that Ryan and I don't have a right to complain
I don't think so.
because you have humidity, but now we have smoke, so we've got a right to complain. I mean, come on. No, but Ryan, I went out running beforehand, and then I come in here, and so I guess you can make a slight digression. This is the new studio, right?
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
All that, and but the downside is you walk in the door and the temperature rises 10 degrees.
Really?
It's a little crazy. So
Yeah, that's rough.
I'll take it. Come on, I get to have an office like this, so
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. All right, so there we go. That's good to go. Let's go ahead, and of course, we're going to get a warning down here. Now, take a look at our console. Failed to resolve filter currency.
Whoa.
That's okay. That's okay. We're doing this on purpose because I'm about to explain what we're about to do. So what I'm showing here is the price of each service. This pipe here is a indicator to view that we're going to pump it through a custom directive called a filter. you can define custom directives like filters in Vue to help modify your data on the fly. It's very handy to do, and I think it's a good thing to do because it will help you come up with custom directives and other frameworks, or maybe understand like custom methods or things like that. It's a way to add custom behavior to the VueJS library. And the way we're going to do this here is let's go over to our app.js, and outside of our Vue app, give me a couple new lines, just like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to invoke the Vue library, and we're going to call the filter method. We're going to define a new filter called currency. It's going to be a function. So we're going to use our ES6 syntax because we're cool. And actually, I don't think we even need to use the curlies on this one. We can just do an implicit return. So let's do quotes, $, plus value dot toFixed 2. So what this is doing is it's adding a $, and it's setting the value of any currency to 2 fixed places, so 50 cents, 75 cents, something like that. Very practical thing to do. It's a nice little filter to have, and it's a good thing to pump any sort of currency-related thing through that, especially when you're calculating, like, let's say we were to add something like sales tax to this site. Sales tax works in percentages, and that can make your math get a little messy. Sometimes you just need to round down or round up. And a quick little filter like this, a custom filter directive, great way to do it. So then, if we look back here, there we go. And of course, the app technically works. So if you click each item, you notice that it adjusts your total on the fly. But it also doesn't exactly look that great. Let's do some styling.
Could you go back to your app.js file? I think I missed.
Missed something? No worries. There we go.
Thanks.
Just defining a custom method, a custom directive. I'm just calling the filter method on the Vue library, on the Vue. And this is how we define that. So take a look there and let me know if you're missing anything. Is there syntax error?
I just didn't think I copied everything over from the app.js file, but I do have a, must be something else. I thought I just.
What's missing? Talk to me here.
toFixed. Something's wrong with the toFixed.
What's going on?
It says the value toFixed is not a function.
Value.toFixed. So make sure you have value here. You're passing it in, arrow. Just doing implicit return like that. And make sure you also have that comma there.
Let's see. Value.
Do you want me to take a look there?
Yeah, because I'm not seeing it right now. What?
All right, go ahead and bring it on up, yeah? Let's take a look here. What's going on? That looks pretty darn good. So, all right. Good, good, okay. And then show me your web page real quick. And then show me your console. What? But it totally is. Go ahead and go back to your app.js there for me real quick. Let me take a look here. That's exactly like I have it. And is that outer a curly? That should be, yeah. There we go. Currency. So it means that we might be not passing it the right data. Let me take a look at your index.html real quick, actually. Nice. Okay. Then let me take a look at your app.js again real quick. Oh, so I see what it's going on. So see the bespoke development under price in your data? See the $2,000? Get rid of those quotes. Mm-hmm. Get rid of those quotes. That to be a number type. Subtle quick change. Sorry about that. I might have
Good catch. No. Hit them all. Every price needs to be converted to a number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a type error, and that's what I was worried about. So there you go. Save that. Let's see what happens here. And take a look. There you go.
Hey.
Play around with it. Come on, let's see it work.
Cool, thanks.
No worries. All right, let me bring up my screen here, and we'll get done some sharing or some styling real quick. All right. So, all right. So we're going to go into my styles, my index.html. So I'm right here, my index.html, and up towards the top, I'm just going to add a custom link tag like so. And we're going to change a couple things here. I'm going to get rid of these. And then for the href, I'm just going to do styles.css, just like that. All right. Alrighty, right. Super cool. Then let's do styles.css. And let's see, I think some of these will work. So let's do @import URL. We're going to use a custom font. It's going to be https:// fonts googleapis.com/css equals cookie. I'll keep that line up there for a little bit. And then if I take a look, font might not be working. That's okay. Oh, unless I forgot to save it. It's still not working. That's okay. Let's go ahead and just move right along and do some v-cloak. Do this. Display. No. Just like that. Let's see if we can get that in. All right. Good. Lord, we'll just get out of my way. Oh, And don't forget to add your semicolon up there, just like that. Cut that. There we go. And then down below, we're going to do star. And we're just going to set the margin to 0, to 0. Body, I'm going to do font 15px or 1.3 open sans serif. Color. Let's go ahead and let's just add this. Let's get that picked out here. Of course, my favorite attribute, text align center. And this is where we really kind of get to bring out the info. Let's take our time, have some fun, make it. So, no rush. Rush, no worries, have fun. If we take a look here, it's all nicely aligned. Looks like going for the sans serif. That's okay. There we go. All right, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have A and A when visited. That's a pseudo selector, if you'll remember. Set the outline to none, and the color to hashtag 39DC1. If these seem arbitrarily, we're just coming up with random numbers. I promise I'm not. For the hover text decoration, set that to none, just like that. Then for section, footer, header, side, and nav, I'm just going to go ahead and have display block. And what we'll see here is this is actually for, we're going to be building on this page to integrate a couple more really cool style little Vue components to kind of make up a little web dev store. So we're just starting that out today. And then let's start styling our form. So for the background color, if I could type that right, yes, set it to this handy little color. Move border radius, 2px. Box shadow 0 1px 1px ccc width like a 400px padding px and 60px margin 2px. Just like that. So there we go. Perfect. And then, all right, not the best looking, right? That's okay. We'll make it look a little bit nicer here in a second. It's a little bit blue. Oh, I should know. So then what we're going to do here is let's take a look at maybe styling our H1. So form H1. color is going to be white. I'll remember that one in text. Font size wise, I'm going to go with a nice 64px, kind of in your face, but that catches your attention. The font family, as cookie, else. So does anybody know what this is doing right here in CSS? This is called a fallback font. So if it can't get this to work, it'll go back to this one. So it's always a good idea to have fallback fonts set up, because sometimes internet will go weird, or browser stop working, or Google will, for the umpteen billionth time, change all the fonts they have available on their APIs. They do that. They're very picky.
Cookie's a font family?
Cookie is a font family. That's the one we created up here. It's pretty nice.
Okay, right. Gotcha.
See? There you go. There's Cookie. Actually, I think that's cursive, so we can't find Cookie. That's okay. That's why I fall back fonts, and that's why it still looks pretty darn good. So now let's go ahead and do font weight. Set to normal. I'm going to say, oh, what else do I need? Line height, 1. And let's do some text shadow. 0, 3px, 0, GPA, 0, 0, 0, 1. Just like that. And take a look. There we go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Kind of pops out the title a little bit.
What'd you have for a text shadow? That I think I.
There you go.
Okay, the RGB.
RGBA 0.1 is probably my favorite setting for text shadow or box shadow. I abuse it almost religiously. It makes it look really nice. No worries. So then, what do you think about that there, Pierre? Looking better?
Yeah, much better.
All right, well, let's make that ULLI look nice. So for the font ULLI, let's go ahead and let's take it. Actually, we're just going to style the UL first. So of course, list style should be none for the font U. Whoa, not that. For the form UL, color should be white. Font size, let's make it 20px. Font weight, bold. Text line to left. And then margin, 20px, 0, px. Just like that. If you take a look at that. Snazzy. What's that? All right. Looking good? Look even better. So now drilling really down to the nitty gritty, let's take each LI. Let's add some padding. 20 px and 30 px. We're going to do a background of hashtag E5. Margin bottom. Let's set that to 8. Bottom shadow. Well, let's do 0, 1px, 1px. And again, going for my favorite. Cursor. There we go. So that guy out for size. we go. That's a little bit more noticeable. Now what we're going to do here is form ULLI span. We're just going to float that to the right. So that way the price sticks on the right-hand side. Now you can see. And then below that, form ULLI active. Background color, the hashtag 8 BC16D. There we go. Just like that. Then, oh, it's not sticking, so let's change that pseudo selector to a dot. See what happens. There we go. So you'll notice in the CSS, I changed the pseudo selector from colon to dot. That makes it stick.
Makes it what?
Stick.
Stick.
So that way when I click it, it stays, just like that. A little bit better, right? Because if you add that dot, it actually stays green when it's selected and it goes away when it's not. And then, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Div.total, just like that. So that binds it to the class is what it's doing. Because we have the active class. So that's li.active. So that's looking for the active class. I messed up for a second and gave the pseudo selector, which only happens when you click on it. So that's for the class, li.active. So when the li has the active class. And then for the div.total, so when the div has the total class, or for the div that has the total class, I should say, let's just go ahead and add some border top, px, solid, GPA, 55, 255, 255, 255. Padding 15px and 30px. Font size of 20px. And let's maybe make that font weight bold. And left, color, hashtag FFF. So white. There we go. There you go. Already looking better. Let's go ahead and switch it up a little bit more with a div.total span. It's going to float that right. There we go. Beautifully done. I hope that takes our mind off a little bit of the backing grind there. Feeling good?
Good.
Nice. All right, kill your server. Add and commit it. And push it. All right. Pretty handy little thing, right? That's something you might actually create for business. Right down to the styling. It's all data-driven, and that's the thing about VueJS. With these directives, the binding, you can really pretty quickly come up with some data-driven apps. Pretty short order. So, all right. That's it. I'll see you guys. How you feeling? You get that pushed up, committed? Let's hear it. What do you think about it? Do you think that was actually, did you have fun doing that?
Yeah. Sean, I've got a question on our CSS. Right off the bat, we used brackets for the vcloak. Why is that?
Why is that? Because we're selecting the directive itself. And so CSS doesn't support that, so we kind of have to tell it to look for a custom HTML attribute. And that's how we tell it to do that. Say, hey, CSS, I'm looking for something that has this attribute.
Okay.
So. Oh, Jay, you're muted.
So Ryan, if you on line 3 were to say, no, go back to the CSS, Sean. If you were to start line 3 with the word form, and then you put a bracket, then what it would be doing would be looking for a form tag that also had the vcloak attribute. So the brackets allow you to select attributes.
Gotcha.
So without anything there at the beginning, it's just looking at all the tags, looking for a vcloak attribute.
And we could probably make that search a little bit more efficient by doing something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Because it'd be like, I'm just going to look for form cloaks, and then that narrows the search right away. He goes, okay, vcloak.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't remember if there's a space between the form and the bracket or not. It's been a little while, but you can search for the existence of an attribute, which is just what he's done here. He's just said, I'm looking for the attribute to be set on a tag. You can also do like vcloak equals and give a value, and then it will only match attributes with that particular value.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a nice little CSS trick to have up your sleeve.
Sure.
Being able to select an attribute.
Gotcha.
All right. Pretty handy too, right? Because think about how many times we might have like custom attributes and stuff like that with Vue.
Right.
It can help you.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
So are we on break? Are we taking a break? Do you guys get a break?
I'll see you guys back at 8:27. Go get some more coffee, Jay.
8:27. All right. See you in 15.
See you at 15. Ryan, Pierre, you guys feeling good about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Go have fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go. All right, we are back. And I am never trying to share with 2 laptop screens ever again. So we're going to get rid of all that. It's a great screenshot. All right, so let's go ahead and let's change into our projects directory.
So what are we doing for this last hour?
Superheroes API. The pedals.
Okay, is this a REST API?
Yep. And we're
Okay.
just going to be mostly working on the front end, getting the rest of the roots to work with an edit form and everything else. So, all right. I worked hard on this for you guys. Got everything working and running beforehand. So, should be pretty fun to finish out superheroes here. And then tomorrow we should be able to kick off villains and get into that madness. So, all right. Let me go ahead and just open up a couple things here. All right, and then so what we're going to do here is just add a dot in our superheroes API folder. Just open it up real quick. And then I'm just going to run git status. Make sure that you see that, because if you have untracked changes, you should absolutely commit those first. All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to start with just basically nothing open. I'm going to open up index.html and hero.js. I'm just going to drag this one over to the side over here. Perfect. All right, so you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to start out making a couple of changes to our front end here, just in terms of the tags. So the first thing I want you to do is to select this UL tag. It's the list group heroes list. We're going to change that to a div.
Well, what did you just change?
The UL tag, I'm changing that to a div. So before I had a UL tag, and I'm changing that to a div. So just like that. And then what I'm going to do here is likewise, I'm going to change this li to a div. And then on the inside, I'm going to add another div. So many divs, I know. It's all for good cause. So we're going to create an opening div tag here. And let's go down and immediately create its co-requisite closing tag. Just like that. And then tab in our HTML just a little bit. Just like that. And that should be tabbed in a little bit. There we go. Get it to line up just like that. I'm going to give it a class. This new div, I'm going to give it a class of row and hero dash row. I'm going to go ahead and select these, tab them one more time. I'm going to create another opening div tag. And then between the P and the image tag, I'm going to create a closing div. I'm going to create another opening div just below that. Tab in the image, create a closing div. And on this first div, I'm going to give a class, just call -md-4. Give this a class of call-md. And let's do O-4. And actually, I'm going to change this up for when to call md too. That's just some text data. Let's keep it like that. So there's 2, there's 4. I'm going to see. And then down below that column MD4, I'm going to create another div. I think this one I could. I'm going to give it a class of call MD6. So remember, one of the key things with Bootstrap is that you can only have these guys in one row summed to 12. And here, there it goes. What happened to my, oh, whatever, to the left. There we go. Inside here, I'm going to create a button tag. Type is going to be a button. Name is going to be button. This one is going to say edit. Then its class is going to be btn. btn-primary, edit, hero. Just like that. And then, if you go down below, another button. Same deal, same type, same name. Class is going to be btn, btn-danger, delete hero. And the text should say something like delete. I've had other people put something funny like boom in the past or things like that. Oh. And the randomly moving cursor strikes again. Let's just do boom. Here we go. All right. Let me know when you've got that good to go.
Good to go.
Good.
You know what time it is. npm start. And then let me know if you get any errors in here.
Yeah, I got some errors going, Sean.
Did you sudo mongod?
Oh,
Yeah, should do that first. So like I said, come back from break. We're going to need that to do some pretty cool little testing stuff with our front end. Manually delete and edit data. Looking good? Pierre?
Yep.
How's it going out there?
Yeah, looking good.
Nice. All right, let me just navigate on over. And it looks like it's loading up for a second, and give it a second. So I don't technically have any superheroes right now. But, oh, wait a second, it's not even showing my, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I cleared out my database, so I technically don't have any heroes right now. I need to go and create some. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick if that's all right. Just go over here. Let's do Superman. Invincibility. And the first link that comes up is support Google. You know you've gone too deep. Go ahead and grab this image. And then we're just going to do that here. Create the hero. And then I'm going to go back here and go here. And there he is. Let's create one more. Let's do green arrow, arrows, and then bring some over here. That's a pretty cool little image. Let's use that. If you guys are wanting to create a few heroes, go ahead and take a moment to do that too. But you notice there that those changes we made to our HTML have really nicely structured the layout, just like this. All right, looking good? Test your post date, test your post route, test all of that. How's that working? Doing good?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, good. Pierre, you're able to create some heroes okay?
Sure.
Sure. Come on. Talk to me here. Is it going? Is it doing weird stuff?
No, I haven't created here yet. I was looking at it to see. I saw something on the getting errors on the GET request.
Getting errors on the GET request? Go ahead and stop my share and let's take a look at those before we get going because we don't want that to work. There we go. Go ahead and bring it up there and let's see what's going on. Oh, you're using Postman. Go ahead and bring up your actual. Let me take a look at your server. Let me take a look at your terminal. There you go. That's okay. And then go ahead and refresh your application real quick here for me. And then go ahead and clear your console as well once you're good to go. So go ahead and clear your console and refresh the page. And remember this. Oh, go ahead and bring back up your console. We're going to clear it out. Clear your console. So, yep. There you go. Console. Oh, not that. Careful, console.
Where's it?
Oh, there it goes. Then go ahead and, oh, that might be because we put in images as NA. That's okay. So remember, we didn't use links for a bunch of the data?
Yeah.
That's why it's probably giving you 404s.
Okay.
There you go.
I should be able to edit it, right?
We're going to start working on that. It doesn't work quite yet.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Let me go ahead and bring back up my screen share real quick. No worries. False alarm. You did good. So we're actually going to work on delete first, and that's mostly so we can clean up our data and make it look really nice. So let's go ahead and switch over to that hero.js file. And we are going to communicate with our delete endpoint. So I'm right here. We'll have my create hero. And real quick, guys, let's get rid of that keyword function and just do this. Let's make some modifications here. Let's use the syntax well. I'm going to declare const self. There's really no reason not to. There we go. Just make those slight modifications to our JavaScript. All right, so below load hero, let's have a comma, and then delete hero. Now the delete function takes a hero ID, right? So we need to pass that in. And again, const self equals this. Just a quick little call to our endpoint via Ajax. So, all right. Pierre, help me piece together this call to my endpoint. How would I do this?
Let's see. Ajax, trying to create the call, right? Or the method. You gotta specify the method.
That's a good place to start. We're doing delete, so what would our method be?
It'd be delete.
All right. What about our URL?
The URL is...
Take a look at your routes. That's what I'm trying to make you do there. And take a look at the endpoint we might be using for that. So there's one slight difference from the two URLs we're using here. If you think about that, we'll piece together.
I was looking to see where it was at, but I mean, just off the top of my head, we just have to specify the what we're trying to delete. So you just slash API slash well, delete superheroes, so it'd be superheroes.
All right, and let's actually do your favorite, some string interpolation here, just like that. And then put another backslash, and then $, brackets, hero ID. We're going to pass in the ID is what we're going to do here because it's specific to that hero. And what we're going to do here is .done response self.load data. Just like that. Okay. And because the self here, the this here, corresponds to our entire Vue app, that's just going to allow us to call our load data method down here. So that way we can just hit the get endpoint again with all the changes, with the deleted hero gone, and not even have to execute a page refresh. All right. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So in our second button down here, the one with class of btn-danger with the adequately titled boom, because I couldn't think of a better word. We're going to execute a VOnClick directive. And we're going to prevent the default. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do, okay, I'm going to call my delete hero function, but I'm going to pass in the ID, just like that. See, up until now, when we've been calling our functions, our methods from Vue, we haven't really been using them to our full effect. The reality is that when you call a function in Vue like this, you can't actually pass in parameters, arguments. You just have to add those parents. So don't forget that. All right, good to go? Ready to give it a try? Boom. Oh, not working. What happened? Let's take a look here. Delete hero, delete hero. It's not even executing. Let's see. Let's do console.log. Hello. That's strange. I wonder if it's the syntax that's throwing it. Oh. That's different. Oh, because I ran npm start and I didn't kill my server. I have to run nodemon server.js. Right. Okay. So I'm going to refresh my page. And then let's go, boom. And it's gone. There we go. Error in usage, not error in code. So there you go. Did that work for you guys?
1 second here.
Have you ever tried deleting all those ones that don't have images except for the Hulk?
I've still got a connection refused error, Sean.
Connection
Yeah,
refused.
it's not working for me.
All right, so let's take a look here. And so what I have here is make sure you have /API/superheroes $hero_ID, just like that, with the string interpolator. Make sure you have the backticks there. And then make sure. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Template syntax.
What was that?
You taught them the ES6 template syntax on line 44 there. That's cool.
Yep, the templating syntax. And then we execute a delete method. And then make sure you've run nodemon server.js in here. All right, are we still stuck? It's not great. Vue stopped responding to my text.
Let me try one more thing here.
It won't let me stop the share. There we go.
Okay, it let me delete now.
Okay, perfect. What'd you end up having to do?
I had my method before my URL.
Oh, yeah. Then do that. Yep.
Yeah.
So you want URL, then method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still having a problem on mine.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look there, Pierre. If Zoom will let me stop the share, there we go. Oh, so you're using, you need to use the ticks there. Careful. You use ticks instead of the quotes. So we're using the string templating.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where they use the back.
So, Sean, do you mind explaining real quick?
Yeah.
When to use the ticks versus when not to?
Honestly, string templating is really useful. So I'd say we should almost always use ticks. The only reason I sometimes forget to is because in a lot of other languages, we don't have nice string templating like that. So that's where you see my other influence of other languages I know kind of interfering with that. But I would say you should use them as often as you can. The only times I really tend to use direct quotes are when I am creating a string directly. I don't know, like when I'm first assigning a value to a variable and it's a string, like a name or something like that, that's when I do it. Otherwise, I try and use the templating now with JavaScript. Jay, you can step in here and tell me. Jay, when do you use this one?
So yeah, anytime you're constructing a dynamic string that's based on the value of variables, you want to use the backtick syntax now.
Yeah.
Right, like the old way to do it was just to use quotes and the plus operator, right? And you just kind of chain it together. Do you guys know what that looks like?
Yeah.
So they're kind of equivalent, but I guess that there's some optimizations that the virtual machine can make under the hood with the templates that it can't do with the string concatenation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you'll just start to see there's actually libraries coming out now. I mean, that templating syntax is actually an extremely powerful addition to the language. There's whole APIs coming out that are like based on that, like GraphQL. You can, like the most popular GraphQL library uses that backtick syntax, and you write like your whole GraphQL query in the thing, and then it all gets parsed. So I'd just say use it whenever you're constructing a string dynamically. If you just have a static string that's just, hello world, then like Sean just said, you can just use single quotes for that.
I see. Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you, Jay. That's exactly what I was shooting for in a lot more direct way. So that's what I would say is use that when you want to dynamically construct a string. So if you think you're going to be inserting some data into the string that might change, probably a good time for backticks. So, all right. Good. So that one was
like
pretty
earlier
easy.
when we called our URLs. Sorry, Sean.
Yep. Well, these guys,
So
these guys I've set as static strings
They're
because
static.
they really aren't going to change, right?
Yep.
I mean, this guy here, all of a sudden I care about an ID. That's going to change. That's where you want to kind of insert that template. Or where else did I use it?
Gotcha.
If you take a look here at your routes, Ryan, I use string. The heat's getting to me. I use string templating all over the place here. Actually, I used it here, and I could use quotes there. But when I want to communicate something dynamically, like the name of a superhero I've posted or deleted or whatever have you, that's when I'm going to use string templating.
Okay, gotcha.
And what I would say is, if you ever catch me not using string templating when I have to when it's a dynamic string, just quickly remind me that I'm not programming in C or Python.
Okay.
I say that jokingly, but it happens often when I'm actually coding up stuff. So, all right. That's good. But we're not done yet. We have one more endpoint. Actually, we have two. But we have one more one that we're really going to use, which is the edit endpoint. So let's do this. All right. This button is going to trigger many, many, many wonderful, wonderful things. So let's get started with that. Let me shift my position back over here in the world. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of outline our form. So I'm going to start here with this latest dev, right? I'm going to go out 1, 2, new line. So outside the hero row. I'm going to create a new div. And the class is going to be row edit dash hero dash row. Then inside there, we are just going to use some basic form tags. Not like that. Good Lord, how many times I'm going to hit tab there. There we go. Do not hit tab when creating a form. Adam will give you far more than you ever asked for. And then let's create a class here. Let's, let's give it edit form, just like that. And then we've got 3 things we need for here, right? Because 2 of the fields for our model are just automatically created on the back end, which is the post on the modified date, or the created on the modified date time. What we need to have here is we need to have 3 fields for the name, the superpower, and the image, all of which are strings. So this is pretty easy to do. So let's dive on in. Let's create our first one in a div. And this is a pretty cool Bootstrap class called a form group. And it groups together the labels and inputs really nicely. So if you're ever wanting to create a form and you want your stuff to be just tightly grouped together, Bootstrap form groups, highly recommended. So get that good to go. I'm going to do a, whoa, where did my tab go? Yeah, a label. And get rid of that for. So we're not going to use it. We're just going to say hero name, hero nombre. And down below that, of course, an input. Type is going to be text, not button. And we can realistically get rid of that value and the name field. Class is going to be form control. And let's do a, and that should be good there. Let's do div. Again, form group, hero form field, label is just going to be hero power. I'm going to give it an input, type of text, class of form control. And I'm going to switch back over here, actually. There we go. And then down below here, so let me do this again real quick, actually. There we go. We create another div. Form group. Hero form field. Label. Hero image. And input tag, type of text. Get rid of these. Class of Form control. That should be good. All right. So, got that good to go? Let's take a look in our Delia. And sure enough, every superhero should now have a field like that. All right, thumbs up, good to go? Nice, Pierre.
No, I'm looking through. VueJS. All right, got it.
Nice. All right, looking good?
Yep.
We're going to make it look better. So let's flip over to our hero.js real quick. And we're going to need to create a decent amount of data to kind of control the way our edit form works. And you'll see why in a second. It allows us to get a really cool inline edit form. I'm a huge fan of these. So first thing we need to do is, if we're going to have an inline edit form, we should probably tell our app which hero we have selected. So selected hero. Selected hero. And we're just going to set that to undefined. We're going to have a hero index. Set that to undefined. We have a show edit. I'm going to set that to false. That should be good. Then down below, in our just below our delete hero function, it's right there, comma, edit hero. So we're going to start with this one. We're going to do, of course, const self equals this. And here's how this is going to work. Const modified hero equals name is going to be self.name slash self.name.length. We're going to check if it's greater than 0. So we're going to check to see if our name data here, if its length is greater than 0. If it is, it's been modified. Otherwise, we don't care. Likewise, if self.superpower.length is greater than 0, it's been modified. Otherwise, we don't care. It hasn't been modified. Finally done, likewise. If image, the length of image is greater than 0, and modify. Else, we don't care, hasn't been modified. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and add one more function up above this, okay? Before we do that whole Ajax call, let's add a toggle edit function, just right here. Notice I'm placing this above my edit hero function, just like that. Toggle edit is also going to take two parameters, hero ID and index. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to flip the Boolean. So this.showEdit equals not this. I can't see because Zoom is in the way. This.showEdit. Then, if showEdit is true, we're going to set selected hero to what's passed in. We can do this via ternary. And this is just designed to avoid some nasty side effects you can get. Likewise, just like that. All right, and then down below, we're just going to console log modified hero inside our edit hero function. Let's add a little message here. So just like that. So remember, incremental steps. One possible error at a time. And then once we get that good to go, let me know. That's Ryan.
Good to go.
Nice, Pierre. So here's how this is going to come into play. We have this toggle edit function, which I hope it's pretty transparent what this is doing, but let me tell you what it's doing. Anyway, we're passing in a hero ID and an index. So when someone clicks on that edit button for a given hero, we want to set what hero is selected, basically, that we selected to edit a hero. And we will use that to trigger that hero's edit form is going to show. Now, if it's not the case and we don't have a selected hero, we need to set these to undefined. So that way there is no selected hero, no edit form shows. This is going to be what we actually use to submit the edited hero. So they're very different functions, but they're going to work in tandem to allow us to create a dynamic update form for each hero. And let me show you how that's done. So the first thing we should do is see that edit hero row here. We're going to add v-show, the VueShow directive. We're going to be checking for two things. If showEdit is true, and if selected hero is strictly equal to the current ID of the hero being iterated over. So what we're going to do then is we're just going to add a little v on submit method. prevent the default behavior. We don't want that. We don't want the page to refresh. And we're going to do edit hero. Class is going to be, oh, we already added that. So just like that. And then all that remains is just bind our data to our inputs. So for this input, doing the hero name, so let's do vModel equals name. And we can absolutely tie this to the same app we used for our post form. Because it's basically the same form. Just like that. And there you go. Take a look at that. Little splash of some Vue code on the front end. Couple methods back here. Now there's one more change we need to do, which is up on that first button up here. VOnClick.prevent, just in case. Toggle edit. h.id and index. Now, in order to get that index, I need to modify my v4 up here. So I'm going to go parents, index, just like that. So again, modified my v4 to show that index. Then I added the VOnClick, which is just going to trigger a toggle edit function, which will take both the ID of the current hero selected and the index in the array. And this is just more of a convenience, so I don't have to do a bunch of messy array logic to figure out which hero has been edited. I could arguably just hit my backend point, but if I have the index available to me, why not use it to just kind of avoid excessive backend API calls.
Sean, can you scroll up to that last v4 that you just made?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I did here was I added these parents. I'm just adding that index because Vue will let you get away with that, just like a regular array method in JavaScript. And that way I can modify the data in the page while it's doing its stuff on the back end.
Gotcha.
Have access to that index. And that way we just avoid unnecessary calls to the back end. Clog up the pipes. Because what if our website becomes really popular and we have 2 million users, or 4 million users, or 20 million users? You can clog up the pipes if your application just makes too many calls to the back end. You can end up clogging up the traffic to your site, crash your servers, or just end up costing a lot of bandwidth. It's not worth it.
Could you go back to that other part, the button?
The button? Absolutely. So what I did here was I triggered an on-click event, right? I'm going to use that to call that lovely toggle edit function. And what you want to do is you want to pass in the h._id. That's the ID of the given hero that we've selected. And the index that he's at in the array, just for convenience's sake.
So h._id index.
Yep. I figured that one out myself. And it's just a really much more convenient way of making sure we can tell Vue which hero has been modified without having to necessarily call back on the back end or go through the array using a messy logic. If we have access to it, we should use it. So then let's go ahead and let's refresh that front end page. And let me know if you get any errors. Look at that console. You notice now that your edit form isn't showing. But if I click edit, there it is. Likewise, if I just type in here flight, Oh, did I forget the submit button? I did. So hold on a second. We forgot
Some
something.
errors. I think
Oh, you're getting some errors? Which ones? What's it saying?
Error compiling templates. You warn message up trace. This is a error compiling template, and there's a.
Let me stop that. Go ahead and bring it up here for me. And then show me your error inside your browser. Let me take a look there. And then scrolling up. That doesn't exactly help. Go ahead and scroll down. So we might be having a typo or something. Let me take a look at your index.html real quick. Let's go ahead and let me take a look at your model image. Oh, go ahead and see that div up on line 38. Can you select that for me real quick? Just want to see where it goes. Okay, we're good. We're still on scale. And then let me take a look at your hero.js. Okay, so this .name isn't going to be defined. You have to do self.name, self.superpower, and self.image. If you do this, it's going to refer to the object. So up on lines 32 through 34, every place you reference this, you have to put self.
Self.
So yeah, so self.name. Because remember, the this in the object is going to refer to the new hero object. And put self. Mm-hmm. And then save it. And then go ahead and refresh your page. Oh, and there's one more error. Hold on. Go back to your hero.js. Hold on. Go back to your hero.js there for me real quick. Wait. Oh, nope, that's good to go. I'm sorry. You're good. Let's go ahead and bring it back up. Sorry. I'm getting tired. Sorry. Where they don't exist. There we go. And then go ahead and refresh it. And it's still not doing it. Okay. Working with
Can you scroll up to the top of that error? I just am curious what.
Yeah.
So it doesn't like something. Is it in the template? Is it possible to do a code cleanup on that template file, like to make it go into your editor and tell it to like auto indent?
Possibly, but we'd have to install some packages.
Oh, Adam doesn't have that?
Yeah, you have to install some packages, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me take a look here. So toggle edit H.
Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
that div that you were looking at before, I'm still skeptical about that.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the problem.
So it's working on what I have over here, but let's take a look. Go ahead and show me your your index.html there for me. I've gotten this error before. It's usually because something's not being bound correctly or something of the sort. Selected hero equals ID. Oh, on line 49 and line 45 and line, so on those two lines, Pierre, you're trying to v-model superpower on a div. You need to bind that to the input field. So take a look at what you have on line 43. You have v-model name on your input field. You need to bind v-model to your input field down there. So go ahead and select the v-model there. Yeah, so there you go. That's what that is. So it's telling us right there that, hey, that's not an input, and I can't bind to that. So whatever you think you're doing there, don't do that. I've done that to myself. I actually did that to myself earlier today, Pierre. With I think I tried calling vmodel on a unordered list by accident. Yeah, that was great. That was fun. Like I said, if you guys make that error, I've probably done it like 20 billion times. So go ahead and it's no problem. Let's refresh this guy. I bet it's going to work. Ready? Yeah! Woo! Nice.
Cool. Thanks.
No worries. We're almost out of here. Got to just do that Ajax call and make sure it works. So let me bring up my screen share. So my personal test is I'm going to give this guy power flight, but I realized something. We don't have a submit button. Should probably add that. So in your form, in your HTML down here, go below that last input, but still inside that form tag. So if you're getting lost in the mess of divs, look for the form tag right here. Go up one, give it a space.
Sean, I'm not seeing your screen
Oh,
on my end.
are you seeing mine, Pierre?
Yes, I see yours.
Huh. Well, let me just try. Can you see it now, Pete? Ryan?
No. Should I try leaving and coming back?
Yeah, go ahead and try leaving and come back.
All right. See you guys in a second.
I'm going to add this real quick here. Tonight's just been a night for technical issues. Between my internet exploding Zoom on itself. Internet. All right, how about now?
All right. Yeah, I got it now.
So what I've done here is I've added that div with the class of form group, hero form submit. And then I'm going to add a button. This type is going to be submit. Add some save changes text between the tags. I'm going to get rid of the name. Let's just give it a class of button. Button primary, button dash block. There we go. So just that small little modification there. All right. So then, inside our edit heroes function, we're going to go ahead and just get rid of the console log real quick. This time was too brief, but that's okay. And we're going to do our call with $.ajax URL ticks /API /superheroes. And let's go ahead, and of course, we want to get the endpoint, right? But we've set this in a value in Vue. So if we do self.selectedHero, now you see why I passed in the ID. So I can just put it in right in here. I communicate with my endpoint very efficiently. For my method, should undoubtedly be put And for my data, I'm just going to create that as modified hero, just like that. Then .done, response, error function. And let's go ahead and do self.heroes. So this is our heroes array. Self.heroIndex. That's why I save that hero index in Vue, right? So I can just do this. Because our endpoint, if we take a look again at that endpoint for superheroes, our put route isn't returning the array, it's just returning the modified superhero down here. So if I use that index, I get him back, I can just replace him in the array. And then just as a nicety, show edit should go back to false. We're done editing, obviously. I'll leave that up there for a second. There we go. All right, you guys ready to test this bad boy? Let's do it.
Ready.
Refresh the page. Gonna hit edit. Your form should show, along with the button. So there's your guys' form show. Perfect. Type in flight. Hit save changes. Bam. Let me know if you get any errors.
Good.
Quick and efficient, right? Didn't even have to hit your get endpoint again. So that's how I designed this solution. It's just to try and minimize the number of our API calls while doing a really quick, fast little update. So,
Sean, mine didn't submit. Let me see real quick.
yeah, you're getting some error? Bring it on.
It's not showing an error.
It's just not updating?
Mm-mm.
Show me your code. Show me your code. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
I sped through that a little bit fast, but it was mostly so I don't keep you guys an extra 15 minutes. So, all right. Okay, let's take a look at your code.
Is it up for you?
I'm seeing it perfectly.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and go to your page. Click. And go ahead and just type in flight. We're just, there we go. And then, so it's just not doing anything. All right, so let me take a look here. Go ahead and show me your index.html there. And edit hero. Oh, you have a typo. Data is set to modified hero. I need it to be modified hero.
I saw another one too. What line is that there, Sean?
So take a look at line 67 in your hero.js. There you go. Modified. There we go.
Gotcha.
There we go. Let's see if that does it. Small little changes. It's past 9:30, so at this rate, the fact that I'm not a typo machine is a little bit cool and crazy. Go ahead and refresh that page there for me, Ryan. Let's see if this guy works.
Okay.
And, right. Did the page refresh? There it goes. And let's go ahead and make it to flight. Then hit save changes.
Yeah. I don't think it didn't change it.
So let's take a look here. So go ahead and just above your Ajax call, give me a console log with a short message. Oh, and you have a typo on line 60. You have self.superpower. You need superpower. So go ahead and do type a message there, though, for me. There you go. Go ahead and save it, and then refresh your page for me. And try and edit Superman again. Let's do flight. Nope. So let's take a look here. Go ahead and go back into your code. Can you just show me just your hero.js? So it's not even talking with our function. Put modified hero. That's good. Those would all result in syntax errors.
But we didn't see the console log, right?
Yep, we didn't see it. So let's take a look at our index.html again. Oh, so on that button on line 54 there, Ryan, change the type to submit. So on line 54, change that type to submit, because otherwise it won't execute the form submission.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. There you go. Try and refresh that for me. Good thing we got those typos out before we even hit that submit button.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Hey, all right.
All good now. Thanks, Sean.
Hey, come on. Yeah, I was like, and then I saw the typo. So the trick with types, with buttons, is that the submit type corresponds almost exclusively to forms in HTML. And they are designed to trigger the form submission. A regular button type button, that's designed to trigger just any other event, basically. I used to despise forms, so I would exclusively use buttons that did the click thing, but Doug has got me to see the ways of the form, so.
Gotcha.
I like them now. They're cool. All right. Pierre, check in with me here. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Tired? Feeling okay?
Oh yeah. I'm burnt, but I'm good. I made it through.
You guys feeling okay? Let me know if the class is going too fast, because if you guys burn out here, that's not going to be fun. So.
Oh, I mean, I was burnt out before we started.
You had a long day. Like, you know, if you guys want, and I will say this, we have a pretty regular schedule planned for you guys this week. But if you guys are ever just having a day, like I know there are going to be days where I come home from my my upper div CSCI classes and my upper div math classes. I get no freebies this semester, this coming one. And I'm just going to be burned out. If you guys just need an easy day with some fun, like vanilla JS challenges, let me know beforehand, and I will tell Doug that, hey, we need to give them an easy day so they can have a break and like rest up and be sharp. Still practice your coding skills, still learn some stuff, but just like do something fun, because this is your guys' class. I want to make sure that, I mean, yeah, we all have lives, but it's important to recognize that and to kind of adapt to that and make sure that you guys don't burn out on JavaScript and coding, because that would be awful if the class was just too fast and furious so that you lost the joy of coding, because I think that would actually kind of crush my soul a little bit. Let's not do that. So, but if you guys ever need that, because I know I have days like that. Just let me know. I'll be happy to talk to Doug and adjust the week schedule.
Cool.
All right. Seriously. Good job. That was super intense, and you guys are awesome. I know Ryan and I are dealing with smoking hot up here in Montana. Pierre, you're dealing with smoke, or not smoke, but humid and hot down in Pierre. Jay, you got the best deal out of all of us, man. What's up with that?
That's cool and clear and lovely.
Oh, yeah. Rub it in. Rub it in.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
But anyone, this is Jay. Jay is amazing. Thank you for helping so much, Jay. And he's going to be a very active part of our class going forward, applying his expertise, and ask him questions just as much as me, because Jay, both Doug and I agree that Jay, you're pretty much a walking compendium of knowledge when it comes to both like coding and JavaScript and just, you know, making it as a programmer in general. So.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to share what I know. Lately, I've been mostly a React guy, so that's what I'm looking to convey to you guys is a lot of React and a lot of just cool JS stuff. I do like the language. So I hope to instill a lot of componentized architecture in your brains. You'll understand how to do components from a React perspective. But anyway, we've kept you long enough. Go to bed. And
I'm going running again.
I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All right. Good class, guys.
All right. All right, guys. Good
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Good night.